Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been 2 weeks without dropping any content. I do apologize for that, just that I've been busy, but now I'm back. Yes, if you are new, please consider subscribing down below, and we really appreciate your support. For the returning people, yes. So today I'm gonna talk about buying land. You know, back in the days, if you had land, you were considered very rich. And I know that with the times changing, we some sort of lost that grip on that. So I wanna stress it back, guys, that you can, instead of buying a property that is already existing, you can invest in land. The reason being, when you buy land, is that your opportunities are some sort of limitless. Because when you're buying a 2-bedroom apartment or you're buying a 2-bedroom house, and if it doesn't have land, you are some sort of limited, and you don't have any choices of making the property to look the way that you want, because it's already existing. You have to go with what is already there, unless you're gonna have to demolish the property so that you can rebuild it, but that will cost you, and we wouldn't want that. But if your financial muscle is very strong, you can go for that. Buy a property, demolish it, and rebuild it, especially if it's in a good area. But if you don't want to go through demolition, you can look for land and buy that land, and try to save up money so that you can buy cash if you can. If you cannot, go for reinvestment as long as you know how you're gonna be able to repay it. As long as your repayment is solid, you can then use other people's money, buy that land, which is to go to the bank and buy that land. And if you don't have money to build as yet, not a problem. Buy that land and try to fence it. Fence it, and maybe put a shack, put a shack or a windy house, or maybe you can buy a container and lease it as a place of business while you're still gathering material to build your apartment or your house. Lease it and put a container or put a shack and lease it as a as a place of business. Maybe you look for somebody who does hair, maybe you look for a barber, or you look for somebody who does nails or does makeup, who's looking for a place. Give it to them so that they can lease it, so that you know that you're saving money on the other hand, and you're also accumulating some of money from the business that will be operating in your land, whilst you're still gathering money for material. And if that land, let's say that land is closer to schools, maybe it's closer to a high school, it's closer to a primary, it's closer to a university, which is good, very, very, very good. So you know that in order for you, at least that will give you an idea as to continue with your plan. If that is closer to schools, you know that you're gonna be building accommodation, student accommodation. And in my previous videos, I've spoken about how you can make money through a student accommodation. So yeah, you can go to that video and watch it over and over up until you get that bulb, that aha moment. So yeah, you build the student accommodation, and then if you're closer to maybe your Pick n Pays, closer to your Spar, closer to offices, and that's good. That means that you can build flats. So instead of building a 2-bedroom apartment, or instead of building a 2-bedroom house, you can build flats, maybe let's say 5 block of flats, or maybe more. The more the merrier. You build those flats and then you rent them out, and maybe you can start by, if you have a lot, maybe let's say you build 10, you build more than 10, you build 15 block of flats. You start with a low residential, or you start with a low rental, so that people can know that's just your introductory fee, so that people can know that there is this place that you can go there and rent. And yeah, the minute you get all of them fully tenanted, then you're good to go. And then maybe you stay, you use that rental for a year, and then after a year you increase it, and it will be a good thing to increase it after a year, because at least you are well known, your place is known, your flats are known where they are, and the people who decide to leave after a year, they can go out there and refer others to the place, so it's not really a loss. And especially if you're treating your tenants well, and yeah, you're keeping your flat well maintained in terms of the grass outside, there are no bushes that is this big and all those things. So that at the end of that year you increase your rental amount to where you would target it to be. So yeah, that means that you have land. One, you have the block of flats with are generating you like a lot of significant amount on a monthly basis. And if you don't want to go via the block of flats route, you want to build, you can build a duplex. A duplex will be your two properties that will be separated for two families. You built it's a structure that will be, let's say, two properties that will be attached to one another, but yet they will have two different entrances. The reason being is so that you can lease them to two different families, because the thing is, if you lease your property to one family, you only get money, money from that one family. But now if you've got two properties that are residing in the same yard but different exits, you got two, you're getting your rental from two properties, which is a good deal. So you can look into that and make money from there. So guys, I'm doing a lot of changes with the channel. I'm gonna be doing interviews with let's say property people, property investors, property gurus, so that you can also get the nuggets on how to build your property. So I'm gonna be doing those interviews with them. I'm gonna be inviting them, so that they can be part of this big vision that I have. So stay tuned for those changes, and please share the content with whosoever that is getting a lot of value, and please put a like, and see you on the next one.